So today I want to talk about the tech kind of bubble on Twitter. And to do that, I'm going to open up Twitter. So this is a tweet about Bitcoin, $1 million, trillion dollars, whatever. Hardware wallet, designers. Cloud IDE Replit raised $100 million at a $1 billion valuation to bring the next billion software creators online. Here's what I learned and why Replit is not right for me. Two crypto people got murdered. Cryptocurrencies led by Bitcoin, along with other crypto technologies, are a major innovation engine. It is a mistake for the US government to hobble the industry and drive innovation elsewhere. This one's interesting because even Gary Tan, which is the president and CEO of Y Combinator, which is a startup company, retweeted this. Yes, energy use is a concern. Bitcoin mining uses about the same as video games, and no one is calling for a ban on those. Pretext to suppress elite power structures. Some advocate tight control of crypto. It isn't just criminals who want privacy. Just as a biodiverse ecosystem is a resilient ecosystem, so too will our economy be more resilient if it has a diverse ecology of currencies, not just a single centrally controlled one. I am voting for whoever is pro-crypto. If anyone is offended by this, it means you hate liberty, entrepreneurism, small businesses, and the underdogs. How to win with AI. Stop competing with tech companies. Identify a niche that's usually done by humans. Fully automate it using AI and cron jobs. Oh, this is a good one. This is two apps now that I've downloaded for language learning where they specialize in specific unique stuff. The only reason I downloaded them, who spent time, money, effort on developing a flashcard vocab feature. Oh, this is nice. A lemon. If you have false axioms, they'll warp all your further conclusions as you seek evidence that confirms them and ignore evidence that contradicts them. Most people think the solution is just to ensure the truth of the axiom, but a better one is to decrease their number. So I have nothing wrong with these statements. These are just, opinions, right? And Twitter is an opinionated site. But the problem is that, you know, these people are not just shouting on social media, they're shouting in real life. And they're trying to spread all this information, and, they're like, everybody in the tech industry is like, I know so much about XYZ technology, whether it's data science, data like machine learning, but not everybody can be like an expert, right? There's only so many grad students, there's only so many PhD researchers, and there's only so many topics in the field that, being a top expert is not easy. And the problem I have with is, okay, posts like these. How to overcome self-doubt and imposter syndrome. The character invention technique. 4:30 a.m. Wake up. Morning monster. 5:15 a.m. Deep work machine. 4 o'clock p.m. Super dad. Let's read into this. We all struggle with some degree of self-doubt and fear of failure. That's true. It's common among ambitious high achievers who, by definition, are constantly putting themselves in situations that are on the edge of their current competency level. So here, this is already alienating people, right? So this post is saying, if you're seeing this, you're probably a ambitious high achiever. And he assumes this because he's saying this is common. Here's how you overcome it. And now for the references. Beyonce, referencing late 2000, Beyonce. Few were aware that she struggled with nerves. In 2008, she created Sasha Fierce, a stage persona that embodied the characteristics she would need to perform in front of millions. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, and so on and so forth. But this is like, my coach recommends setting alarms that are the reminder to turn on that character at a specific time of day. Now, this advice, it could work. It could help people. But the way it comes off on Twitter is like, what's your point of posting this? Like this is a really, really long thread, right? Why on Twitter? And why who is the intended audience for this? Right? This has already been reached by almost more than 750,000 people. But how many people are actually clicking past this first thread? Like, how many people are looking at this and just saying, oh, this is just a self-brag about, how you get up at 4:30 in the morning and you work at 5:15 until, 4 o'clock. And, I can't know the intention of this guy, right? But if I look at his profile, the time billionaire, it's like people find really, I don't want to say obvious, but it is pretty obvious, right? Like, a concept that changed my life. You mean you didn't know that time was important? Like, my last video was actually about time, and I'm like 22, man. But granted, I have a different experience than other people, but I would prefer to have a site where people are genuine. Like, when you share something, it's because you want to genuinely share it with other people, and not because, oh, look at me, I found this thing, I know this thing, I'm using this thing, and it's it's good. And the problem with tech is that a lot of people just kind of assume that everybody else has the same knowledge as them and have the same level of care as them. So when they're talking about like AI and all the new trends in like cryptocurrencies, and those aren't really relevant to the average person, right? Like, if you're on Twitter, if you're on ChatGPT, you're already in like a very privileged position, right? Because most people, they don't have time to care about any of that stuff, right? They have jobs, they have kids, they have other things to focus on. They need to put food on the table. And where I'm a university student, so I have more time to myself when I'm not doing my academic work to kind of learn about these things. But all the people on Twitter are like middle aged. My feed is full of middle aged, like probably software workers or people working in technology. So they're on their devices throughout the day, and that's fine. But they treat their life or their perspective as one shared by the entire tech community. And that's really isolating the rest of the population, the rest of the people that are potentially the users of the, so and so technology. And it's really great to get like 500K views on a video or 500K users on a project. But my perspective on that is that it's better to have 10 dedicated users that will support you through all your changes than having, a million people use your product, and the moment you change it, all of them leave, or, they don't really care about it. They just say, oh, that's cool, and then they leave. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you have those core supporters, you will be successful because they will help you find the diversity of perspectives that you need to make a good product that actually helps more than, a very small subset of people. And yeah, so I think everything in tech is overblown, and, you know, I believe AI will change a lot of industries. I'm going to make a future video about which ones I think will be most impacted and why. So stay tuned, and thank you.